the hell? I took my time about it, leaning forward to stretch out my back and then bending over in a smooth arc to grab my feet and pull my chin toward my calves. I heard a clatter of metal objects fall to the floor and stood up to look for the source. First of all, not one of the little old ladies had taken her eyes off of me. They all stood in rapt attention, focusing in on my body as if I was a tractor beam shining from a UFO. Then there was Keller. He had apparently knocked over a stack of metal buckets holding brushes and sponges, and they lay scattered around the floor at his feet. But his eyes were still on me and not my junk. My eyes. That surprised me, and I caught myself tilting my head at him in curiosity. He must have realized then what had happened and scrambled to his knees to begin collecting the items. "Let me help," I said automatically. "Yes, Eli," Tilly said, clearing her throat. "You should help. I'll hold your robe so it doesn't get dirty while you're on your hands and knees with Keller." I couldn't help but laugh when Keller shot her a dirty look and chastised her. "Tilly, leave him alone. He's not used to your kind of crazy." "It's okay," I laughed, grabbing my robe. I'm getting used to it fairly quickly, if you want to know the truth. After tying on the belt and approaching Keller, I bent down to help clean up. He was just chucking stuff into buckets any old which way, and I reached out a hand to stop him. "Those don't go together," I said, indicating a group of brushes and beginning to separate them into piles. "These are for watercolors, and these are for acrylics." "Oh, I just thought a paintbrush was a paintbrush," he said. "Most people do, and some can be used for both, but if you're supplying an art class, you keep separate brushes," I explained. "I didn't realize you were an artist yourself." "You wouldn't have," I said, standing up and replacing the buckets to their spots on the shelf. When I turned back, I found Keller watching me with furrowed brows. "Eli," he said in a low voice. "I'm so sorry for what I said earlier. Please forgive me for being rude." "No need," I countered. Keller looked around to determine if anyone was in earshot. Most of the ladies had left the room by then, and the two remaining women were on the far side of the room hanging up smocks. "I was just trying to shut down Tilly's attempts at... I was just being defensive with Tilly. It wasn't about you at all," he said, putting his hand on my arm. "Tilly's attempts at what?" I wanted to know. "At setting me up," he said with a self-deprecating chuckle, "and now you know my shame. I'm so pathetic a million-year-old woman is my best shot at finding a date." "So, what's wrong with that?" "She seems cool." "She is cool, very cool, but God, it's embarrassing. I just wanted her to stop, so I said something stupid and, false." Keller's hand was still on my arm, but the grip had turned gentle, and his thumb moved slightly along the fabric of my robe like the finger on a dial that controlled the speed of my heartbeat. "Just so I'm clear, you were trying to stop her from setting us up?" I asked. "Yes. No, wait," he stammered. "What?" I couldn't help but laugh. "You were miffed at her for trying to set you up with me, or setting you up in general?" "Why do I feel like this is a trick question?" he teased, and I caught a glimpse of the flirt inside the insecure front. "I'm just trying to decide whether I'm still offended or not," I said with a wink. "If you didn't want her matchmaking help in general, I have no reason to be offended, but if you were specifically shutting down her attempts to hook you up with me, then I'm a little hurt." "To be honest, it was specifically you," he began. "Ouch," I interrupted, clutching my chest. "But," he laughed, "that's only because I knew I was out of your league and I didn't want her embarrassing me in front of you." "You? Out of my league? On what planet?" I asked. "Cut the crap and just smooch already," a voice called out from the back of the room. "Oh my God," Keller said, eyes closing in embarrassment. "I have to go." He spun around on his heel and bolted out of the room before I could say another word.